also being joined by Harini Amarasuriya. She is an MP from Sri Lanka. Morning, ma'am. Thank you for joining us on NewsX. Latest news coming in that Mr. Premadasa, he may have himself decided to pull out of the presidential race, but he's appealed to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and he has asked India to continue giving aid and all the help which India can to Sri Lanka. First of all, since you are on an Indian channel, anything you would like to say to the Indian dispensation, and what do you have to say about all the help or about whatever India has done till now for Lanka, ma'am?
We are very appreciative of the help that India has provided, and we hope that India will continue to stand by the people of Sri Lanka. We also request India to recognize the reforms and the changes that people want, and to support the people's struggle to make those reforms, and that any intervention, we hope, will be in interests of the people of this country and not for propping up illegitimate regimes.
And ma'am, one more question. You say that you wouldn't want any illegitimate regime to be propped up. Who is it that you are pointing at? Because we all know that Ranil Wickremesinghe has very obviously thrown his hat in the ring. He's making no bones about it. Only yesterday, he has highlighted all the achievements of his government, whatever little time which he had in power, even talking about the legacy, of the economic crisis which he succeeded from his predecessor. How do you view these statements, and do you think that Mr. Wickremesinghe would be acceptable to the people of Lanka?
Well, the bottom line is both Mr. Wickremesinghe and Mr. Alahaperuma represent the ruling regime and the political tradition that the people have been fighting to change. At the end of the day, they both represent the same political traditions. So neither, in our view, is going to bring about a significant transformation.
You think
Ranil Wickremesinghe, in particular, because he was appointed by Gotabaya Rajapaksa, has become and people demanded his resignation along with that of Gotabaya. So he is in no way in a position to claim that he represents change or that he represents the views of the public outside.
Right. And ma'am, a question or more before we let you go. Now, as far as Sri Lanka is concerned, can you help us understand what the condition is like? Fuel shortage, electricity outages, all of that combined, what is it that the common man of Lanka is going through at the moment? Is there any improvement in what we had seen, of course, as compared to the last week, ma'am?
No, there has not been any improvement. There is still severe fuel shortages. Mobility is still a major issue that has affected people's livelihoods. Many people are out of work, out of employment. Schools are still closed. Schools are not functioning as yet. So life is very far from returning to normal. There's much work to be done, and a lot that needs to be done if there is to be even a semblance of normality in people's lives.
A lot of work needs to be done. Can you elaborate on that a little more? Because end of the day, what I'm sure you know it more than me, what Lanka needs is a stable government, not an acting president, but an interim president who will be in charge of the island nation till, of course, elections are held. Because even to hold talks with IMF, to finally reach a concrete deal with an international body, you know that you need a stable government.
Yes, we need a stable government. We doubt very much whether either Ranil or Dallas will be able to form a stable government because their policies have been rejected by the people. Do not forget that it is they who have been in charge of the country for the past several years that got the country to this mess. And I think people understand that people who created the mess are not going to be able to fix it.
Yeah.
This is not the first time that Ranil has gone to the IMF. This is not the first time that Sri Lanka has gone to the IMF. And we are still in this mess, right? So the IMF is not going to be a magic bullet that miraculously fixes the country unless there are certain fundamental transformations also. And the people who are responsible for this mess cannot now claim that they will be the solution.
You say that Ranil will not be acceptable to the people. Of course, many have alleged that he was very close to the Rajapaksas as well. In the given scenario, ma'am, what next for Sri Lanka? Because a week ago or so, by the 20th, which is today, we were hoping that there will be an interim president. That has not happened. What next, according to your view, for Sri Lanka, ma'am?
Well, by the end of the day today, we will have a president, and a government will be in place. However, we feel that the parliament has also lost its mandate, and our solution is that within a period of 6 months, 3 to 6 months, fresh elections have to be called, and it is only with those elections that a stable government will be established, and that the people will be able to exercise their franchise again.
Right, but far as Ranil Wickremesinghe is concerned, if he does become the president, the interim president of Lanka, do you think that he would be interested in holding elections so soon? Also, there is another side which says that what Sri Lanka needs right now desperately is money, and elections cost money.
No, every day that we have the elections are now going to cost much more money than what political instability is. The loss of money the political instability is causing, and that's a choice that has to be made. It is Ranil Wickremesinghe probably will be reluctant to go for an election. He's somebody who lost his seat. He was somebody who was defeated at the last election, so I'm sure he doesn't want to face the people again. But what Ranil Wickremesinghe wants is immaterial. The people's struggle over the last several months has resulted in many changes, and we think that the people's struggle will succeed in pushing for an election as well.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.